Hey, folks, welcome to the Generational Gap. I'm Robert, your resident Gen Xer, and right over there is John, your resident millennial. You're still a millennial, is that correct?
Still, all day.
Still all day. I see Midget B
Yep.
over on D Live, it looks like. Is that D Live I see? That Midget B?
Guess he would be. Weird it didn't show up on the. I see.
Come on, man, what are you
Yep.
doing?
See him now.
Yeah, you
I
don't
just
know
don't
what's
see it
going
on
on.
the YouTube chat. Well, I don't see it on the YouTube
Right.
chat. That's all.
Oh, yeah, because Restream. There. See, it
There
goes.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a, delayed
I
reaction.
say, he says.
We're gonna have a little delayed reaction. So,
Mm-hmm.
how are you doing this evening, John? How are you doing this evening?
Fantastic. Not fan fucking tastic, but fantastic.
Oh, he's got the D Live app on his new phone. That is so
Oh, you got a new
sexy.
phone?
Welcome to the present.
Also, welcome to Midget B's new phone. Glad you could join us.
Thank you for stopping by, new phone. Please upload all data. Um, unless did you get the tinfoil case for your phone? That's important, I think. Um,
Yeah.
I think that's a very important thing. My wife is kind of looking for a new one. She actually has one, had one recently, and she's got a new one, but she doesn't love it. It's kind of off-brand than what she's used to, and
Mm.
she's like, "I hate all these. I hate the way I have to use it. I hate the way it does things. I want to go back to the way I." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, makes sense. Yeah, I want to go
Yeah.
with what I know. Okay, that works. As long as you don't vote that way." Yeah.
Right.
Uh, Wow, John, that's I'm still I don't know, man. I don't know. And I'm all fucked up in the head. And it's getting close to the deadline. It's getting close to the deadline.
That's
And I
right.
don't
It
know.
is.
I don't know which Chad to punch. Um, is what it's coming down to, and that's he says I know the feel. I set my new phone up exactly as the old. Oh well,
Yeah, man.
it's like putting on
You
a
got to.
uncomfortable pair of socks,
Mm.
just with
It is always fun.
just with a new design. It's like holiday socks, right? You put on your Christmas socks and it's good old comfy socks, but they just have a new design. Christmas socks. Do you wear Christmas socks,
I
John?
don't know.
You should wear Christmas socks. I highly recommend holiday attire.
I do have
Um,
Christmas boxers, though.
it just FYI, just dropping it out there. Fauci did recommend. He said it might be a good idea to cancel Thanksgiving
Go fuck
for people to
yourself.
cancel their Thanksgiving plans. To just let's just maybe not have Thanksgiving this year. Like really,
Yeah, go fuck
you want
yourself.
to cancel Thanksgiving? What will we do with all those extra turkeys?
Yeah,
What what would we do?
right. I mean, they're gonna kill them anyway. Might as well eat them.
Stock them on the toilet paper aisles and sell them dirt cheap.
Yeah, maybe.
Sell them dirt cheap. But yeah, so just be prepared that if your Thanksgiving plans go awry, that is why. Um, I'm not going to try and speak in rhyme all night, but
Yeah, please don't.
I keep feeling it. I'm feeling the rhyme vibe. Watching too much Nipsey Russell and stuff like that. So you know, I don't know. Something to be said for old time comics.
Yeah,
Mitch says if the turkeys don't get eaten, they'll be slaughtered and thrown away. I say we
right.
let them loose. Let them loose.
Yeah. Then we go
Benjamin,
hunt. Then we go hunting.
right? Benjamin
Turkeys.
Franklin thought they should be the
No, he
national.
didn't.
I know. Come on, it sounded good.
It's
Come on,
not
I
a real
saw it on the
thing.
internet. It
It
must be
must be
true.
true.
And
No, the
you know who found that out? Mr. Rogers while he was right in the Navy SEALs.
right, right. He's the one who discovered that. Yeah.
Hey,
Oh
just
god.
I watched that movie that Tom Hanks did about Mr. Rogers, and I was totally blown away by the
Oh
movie.
yeah.
I was like, it was really fucking good. I enjoyed it
Huh.
because, of course, you know Mr. Rogers. You know, if you're my age, you know Mr. Rogers growing up and stuff. So, but
Mm.
it was pretty interesting, and it's based on a true story. It's based on a friendship that Mr. Rogers had with a reporter, um, and how he impacted his life, and it's really kind of cool. So I highly recommend it. Whatever, I don't give a fuck what you think about Tom Hanks. He's a good actor. What he does in his personal
Yeah.
life, that's fine. But I like watching his movies sometimes. Because I still got to say, Castaway was pretty fucking good. I mean,
Yeah. It's
nobody,
absolutely a good movie.
I've never seen anybody lose their mind quite as well as Tom Hanks almost did.
Yeah,
Right?
it's true.
But anyway, but yeah, the there's like a lot been going on these last few days. People have said it was going to get crazier, right? But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if all the craziness it's not going to help. I needed to calm down so I can think of a rational choice. In this decision. But I was talking to you about things that Trump is doing that it's just like, okay, is he playing the game, or is he like, actually, I don't know. Um,
Yeah.
the California fires, these have been going on for a while, right? You're familiar with that?
Yeah,
Are you
yeah, I'm
familiar with
familiar.
fires, John? You know what a
Uh-huh.
fire is. But apparently, um, they made a request for an emergency declaration, a disaster declaration from the federal government, so that they could get FEMA involved, et cetera, et cetera. And the administration, they denied them. They said no. We believe, they basically said, because damage assessments that FEMA conducted determined that the federal government's assistance wasn't necessary. Basically, that there were resources and state funding enough to handle the fire emergency on their own. But then within just a little while ago, because I was looking at this, and apparently that has been reversed, like in the last hour of the day, as it were.
Hmm.
They've changed their mind, and they decided to go ahead and declare it a disaster now, because the California was going to appeal it. Um, I don't know. Is that a Trump move? Is that no, you can't have funding, and then, oh shit, I probably
It
need
might
to
be,
give them this funding.
especially right before the election. Yeah, because you can point to that in the
I,
next debate. You can be
I,
like, yeah, I'm helping them out. I'm doing this. I'm doing that.
I mean, the estimates say
Yeah.
that approximately nearly 1,000 homes have been damaged out of the 3,300 something structures that have been destroyed in these fires. And it's like, wow, what does it, here in Florida, you destroy that many homes with a hurricane, and guess what? You're going to see FEMA.
Oh
you're,
yeah.
you're going to see FEMA. You respond quickly to hurricanes now, right? But
Hmm.
California's fires are, I don't know, are they just becoming like a rerun kind of situation?
Yeah, I mean it's old news at this point, right? This whole state burns down every year, so it's nothing new.
Right? If it's not wildfires, it's looting and pillaging.
Yeah.
Um, but so I wanted to ask you about something. I want to talk. Talking about. First off, we'll touch on this in a minute, but there's some news from the you know for the Black Lives Matter movement and all of that. But before that, I had this video, and I want to ask you about privacy. I want to ask you about
Okay.
rights, based off this video. And this is a Karen, and let me do my little things that I like to do to help you out, so that you're there and you're part of this. But I've got this video here that I want to play. Um, this woman is a little insane, but she's interesting. So let's watch this. There's a couple of minutes long, maybe 3 or 4. But
It looks like it's 6 minutes and 44 seconds.
it won't be that long because there's there's commentary on the outside of the video. So
Okay, yeah.
all right. So anyway, here we go.
There.
Urbana Road. Urbana
Yeah,
Way. Okay.
Urbana Road. Okay, there was a black SUV at that stop
Okay, we
sign.
ain't worried about him.
Well,
We're worried
I'm
about
just
what you did.
now wait a minute. I'm just telling you. There was
Okay.
a black SUV there. After the black SUV went through the stop sign, there was nothing coming. I came. He came out of nowhere, crossed over from where you come out of Costco's into the lane to go up this way, and I was in that lane. And when he crossed over, my back end of my friend in my car hit his back end when he crossed over.
So you were leaving the stop sign?
I already left the stop sign.
Okay, so that means you had the right. He had the right of way, but you smashed into him.
No, you're wrong. Okay. I was out of Urbanic on where the Valvoline is.
Here's what I can tell you. I'm not. I don't determine who's at fault. The insurance company does that.
I'm just telling you where the Valvoline is.
Okay.
Is where I was at, and I was going straight, and he crossed over to get in the lane to turn up this way, coming from Costco's.
Okay.
I was in the right lane I was going down the hill. And he crossed over and hit the front end of my car. And then he goes, "You hit me, bitch. You better pull over." And that was his exact words. And he was being smart. And then
Can you hear this guy giggling in the background?
Yeah, yeah.
I got it. I am sorry. I take some Volta. I'm ready to explode. And I did not take my pill today.
Okay.
So I'm telling you right now, I'm
Just
ready
don't
to explode.
Because I'm going to write this up.
Because right now I can make a fist with no problem. I've broke many people's arms, and because it's his fault.
Oh God.
He's the one that crossed over in front of me.
Well, don't break arms right now, because I got to get this written up. Okay.
Put the camera away.
This is gonna look awesome on YouTube.
I'll tell you right now, mister, that freaking shows up on YouTube, I will find you. And yes,
Oh,
it's right.
I've seen this video.
Tell him to shut
This is
the
actually
camera
older.
off.
Okay, hold on, man. Settle down.
Honest God, officer, tell him to shut the camera off now.
By law, I can't. I mean,
Honest God, this shows up on YouTube, and Officer Township, I'm coming after, and I'm
you're going to
coming
sue me
after
for
you.
what? I suggest you get in your vehicle, sit down.
Don't touch me.
Get off!
Don't
shut
touch
it
me.
off!
Don't
Shut
touch
it
me.
off now!
Go sit in your vehicle.
I do not like my picture
Ma'am,
taken.
Ma'am, listen to me. Sit in your vehicle.
Tell him to shut it off now.
Go sit in your vehicle. He can't take you, okay? Go sit in your vehicle.
I do not want this on YouTube. I don't want
No.
to. Tell him to shut it off now.
But shut the camera
Shut
off.
it off now.
Okay, it's off.
Get in your
Shut it off
okay?
now.
It's off. Shut it off.
Put the goddamn thing in your car
No.
now.
Listen,
No.
get in your vehicle. I'm going to arrest you for creating a disturbance, okay? Do you understand me? Sit down. Let me write this up. Get everybody underway.
He's taping me again.
Yeah.
He's taping me again. I do not like that stuff. I do not like that
I
stuff.
love her.
In your vehicle.
Sir, I don't like that stuff.
I
I
don't like you
hate that
screaming. You're creating a
stuff.
scene, okay?
I don't
Get
care.
in your vehicle. He's going to get in his vehicle and write this
I
up.
want
and
that
we'll get you out
off.
of here, okay?
I want that off.
Sir, just
I want that off, and I want it off now. That is my right, and I don't like that shit. I don't like to be on the internet at all. I don't believe in the internet. Please.
I don't believe in the internet.
Just get in there, sit down.
Yeah, he just said it was going on YouTube, and I don't want it. It's all be going. It's on YouTube. You guys are all over me fucking dead.
Hey, man, word on you. If you're going to county jail. One more word. That's all it's going to take. You say you drop one more F-bomb, or try to sue me, you're going to jail. Now sit down and shut up. You got your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance, everybody can do it. Nah, she's about to go to jail. She don't shut her mouth.
All right. So anyway,
So yeah, that is actually an older video. That's been around for a couple of years.
yeah.
For a few years.
So
actually.
well, the reason I want to say that I have seen it before myself, but there's some because that's really going on right now with like all the Karens and everything that everybody's trying to capture
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything that everybody's trying to catch on video. But in that, the cop tells him to put, basically says, "Sir, turn off the phone," and then she's hollering this against her
Right.
rights. So the question is, are we at that point yet that it's violating any rights to videotape
No,
someone
you're
in
in a
public
public
setting like that?
right. You're in a public place. You have no reasonable expectation of privacy. She's wrong, 100%. The cop was right. He can't like by law he can't make him stop recording. Um, but I mean, he asked him to, which is not the same as like making him. You
Because
know
of
what I
course,
mean?
this is this is indicative of everything that sparked the whole George Floyd, et cetera, right? Um, so now then we now this one was I don't I think you said you haven't watched this one. This one was a little more disturbing.
Yeah, I tried to avoid this one, and then now it's not gonna watch from the show. So awesome. Let's do it.
Why did you try and avoid it? It's
Because I don't like watching animals be harmed.
well, I don't.
Even if it's fine, like it's still I don't like it. Animals are awesome.
Do you believe that?
I do, yeah.
And as long as you believe that, as long as animals are awesome to you, that's what
Hmm.
matters. But no, this one was this woman was really fucked up, John, and I think this is this is
Yes, she. Look
something
at
we
her.
need to fucking address. What
She's got those crazy eyes.
does she?
Oh yeah, look at
You
her.
like that? You like those eyes?
No,
Uh,
no, I don't.
she's on something. Uh,
Yeah.
here we go. Oh, hold it.
So what?
Exactly.
So what if I'm f***ing black? What's up?
So what if I'm
Whoa.
white?
I didn't say nothing about race, you racist bitch.
So what if you're from
You're the one
California
bringing
and
up
I'm
f***ing
not?
race. I'm not from California.
So where you
What's up?
from?
It doesn't matter. What's up? What do you want to
From
do?
Utah?
What the is wrong with you? Back up, bro.
Break up, bro.
F***ing
Who's your
weirdo.
nasty?
Gee.
Yeah, she's on something.
Gee, what are you doing? Who are you?
I don't have an identity.
Why are you pulling up on me like
You
this?
look like I have
Where
an
did you come
identity?
from? The fuck?
You look like you have an identity in the Illuminati.
Bro, if you was a dude.
Say this.
Ed said he would hit it.
Do you really want to be worth more than Mercedes or not?
Is that your dog? What the?
Aww. Aww.
Get the out of here, you
See,
dumb
fuck
bitch.
that, man.
Whoa, back up. This is not your dog. This is not your dog no more. I got a video of everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, get the out of here.
What's your name?
You going to jail, bitch.
I'm going to jail. I have mental health record.
I don't give a what you
Mental
have.
health record since I was.
Stop touching me, bro. Back up.
What's your name?
It don't matter.
Exactly. You don't-
Yeah, that was fucked
So
up.
yeah. So yeah, it's kind of disturbing to see that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But now, do you notice? So she's obviously drunk. That's impressive.
Something. Yeah,
Did we
something.
get a did we get Ed? What was that? Ed would hit it.
Ed said he would hit it, yeah.
Oh, it was disturbing enough that he, did, he didn't even come in on a half track. He's like, what the fuck? But anyway, did you hear what? As fucked up as she was, she had the cognizance to have a pocket excuse ready for any fucked up action that she took. I've got a mental health issue, basically. Is what
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa. But now, so Midget asks, he says, what about public space on the internet? What about facial recognition in public? What about anonymity? And see, that's going to be some questions that start
Yeah.
to want to have to ask when we talk about these emails in a little bit. Because questions of privacy, this kind of thing, are going to come into it as well. But Brown Boy, who else is that? Brown Boy Dante. Welcome to see him in the chat as well. He
Yep.
says,
What's up, man?
he says her ex was black and left his dog with her. He also, thanks for
Yep.
killing my buzz, bro. I'm trying to enjoy a cigar after one hell of a week. Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, see, I was a conscientious objector to watching this video, but it was foisted upon me
um,
anyway.
but I mean, it illustrates so much. But is this? I don't know. When? What is this? What is this digital capturing of everything going to do to us? I mean, this is the repercussions of these kind of things going on, just all sorts of crazy shit, is just keeping the fire stoked. Am I wrong? Or I mean, how do we? Is there? Is I don't know.
Well, real quick, I want to address what Seawald said in the chat there. He said, the house closed. He is now a homeowner. That's awesome, dude. Congratulations.
Welcome
That
to
is
the
really cool.
welcome to the party. You can now begin to count your gray hairs.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
No, it's
Congrats.
mad props to you. Now have fun with it and do all sorts of crazy stuff that people wouldn't expect. Just tell us, you're not part of an HOA. Is that correct? No HOA for you? Because I would expect you would not be, you know, that. But anyway,
Maybe.
so one of the things that, is now going to is seen, it may possibly be a repercussion. I don't know. It depends on how much traction this is going to get. Um, but uh, you're familiar with Puff Daddy, P Diddy, as it were.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am familiar.
Um, he has decided that he is going to launch a new political party,
Hmm.
and it's called Our Black Party. He says it's a black political party with a mission that includes advancing a political agenda that addresses the needs of black people. He says, launching one of the boldest things I've ever launched, a black political party with some young black elected officials and activists. It's called Our Black Party. It doesn't matter if you are Republican or Democrat. He said, number one priority is to get Donald Trump out of office. He says he has to go. We can't allow this man to continue to try and divide us. The people that have the most responsibility and should be scared to death of this man are white people. We are on the verge of a race war.
I mean, I don't disagree with that part. It does seem like we are.
Uh, so, oh, he is, just real quick, Sewell is in an HOA. He's in an HOA. Dun,
Ooh,
dun, dun.
that
This,
sucks, dude.
the sacrifices we make. I,
Hmm.
I feel you, bro. I feel you. But anyway, so John, first off, a black political party. So, is there how inclusive do you feel that's going to be?
Not at all. I mean, I feel like
I,
it's probably gonna eat itself. If it gets any kind of traction at all, it'll eat itself.
hmm,
Hey, Nephilim Ninja, what's up?
how's it
Yeah,
going tonight, Nephilim?
I think they're gonna argue amongst themselves way too much and end up splitting the party into either different parties or just back to Democrat or Republican.
Um,
I think
does
that's
it
what's gonna end up happening.
does it have enough? Do you think that now? Well, I guess we should address the fact that he's got money to put behind it, right?
Yeah,
There's
of course,
there's
yeah.
there's there's fuel for the engine, right? So there's that. Uh, but does it have the kind? Do you think it can gain the kind of traction to where it becomes it gets to the level of, say, a Green Party or the Libertarian Party?
I
Um,
think it gets as big as the Reform Party, which I believe has like 84 members or something like that.
Really, you don't think it'll get enough traction at all in the present situation?
Well, certainly not this election. Certainly not. There's not enough time between now and then. Uh, but I mean, there's a chance he could get. Depends on how much marketing he does. There's a chance that it could grow for a while. But I think that if there is any initial enthusiasm, that will fade quickly.
Um, so if you were to give a recommendation about finding some success with this, would you think that a more militant approach would help? And I'm
What do you mean?
thinking along the lines of leaning more towards the Black Panther movement mindset, as it
Oh
were.
yeah, I mean, they're clearly, if they're not going to be right off the bat, they're going to quickly turn into like a black supremacist group, for sure, without a doubt.
Nephilim asks who is funding this. He missed the beginning. This is
Uh,
P Diddy.
Diddy.
Is trying to launch our Black Party, which is a political party aimed towards addressing the needs of African Americans.
Hmm.
And I don't know. I thought that's what civil rights was supposed to have done. And affirmative act. I really thought
But it
we talked.
wasn't.
Didn't we talk about this once in our history and address all of this? I mean, didn't we open opportunity,
One would think so, but others disagree. So there you
but
go.
not opportunity of outcome? So, Seawall, part of the in a half track owners association. Wait, see, now you're just
Nice.
confusing things. Nice. He says, Midget says P. Diddy, DNC gay ops. All right.
Chaos.
Seawall says they will also strip off dim votes far more than conservatives. I could probably see
That
that.
could
Yeah,
certainly be.
they could hurt the Democratic Party in doing so. But I don't know. It depends on how much of a message they start speaking as far as inclusivity. You know, we don't mind white knights from other
Yeah, you might get
races if they
some.
want to jump in.
Might get
Um,
some white allied new males
it just
in
says
there.
Illuminati is the new black plantation.
New black plantation, huh?
This is the Orange Man bad version of Yeezy. Nice.
Yeah, dude.
That midget.
I would love to see like a rap battle between Yeezy and fucking Diddy. That would be awesome. And then like whoever wins, that's the way you vote. If Kanye wins, you go for Trump. If Diddy wins, you go for Biden.
Um,
That'd be cool.
and isn't it a little late, like 3 weeks before the election, or is he
Yeah,
hoping? Like, could he literally fuck Joe Biden's chances? He supports Joe Biden, by
I
the
think he
way.
might like. You think he might rust for Road? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, literally 3 weeks before, and if people have the write-in a write-in option, I mean, why wouldn't they write in
Yeah,
somebody from the Our Black Party on an emotional mindset? Right before the election, they get confronted with
yeah.
this. Oh, here's a new option. I just know lots of people are going to vote for. No, they're not.
I mean,
Uh,
yeah, it depends obviously on again how much marketing he does, how much he's pushing it, and how much it gets into the mainstream.
he'd be better off launching a new brand of vodka, wouldn't he?
Fuck yeah,
I
he
mean,
would.
or maybe a new champagne or something like that. I mean,
Or new cognac or something. I don't
you know,
know.
I don't know. I mean, I don't mind the message. Like if they're, I want to hear more African Americans saying, "Look, we need to avoid a race war because we're
Yeah.
quickly brewing to increased racial tension."
Oh yeah,
Like in a bad way, especially with the election coming up. I mean, it's just all bets are off.
for sure.
I mean, have your slingshots loaded. Is all I'm saying. Is you never know what's going to happen. Lock your doors. Put your kids in the basement.
Had your kids, had your
Right.
wife.
Stick
Yeah.
them down there with the Atari 2600. Let them play Tanktown.
big battle.
Oh,
And
seawall coming out. Oh,
sorry,
that's a bold
Pierce.
statement right there. Um, well, see,
And that is definitely a bold statement.
and there's what I've long said
I'll
is that this
think
idea.
about this name from D Live real quick. John McAfee's Pooh Hammock. I like
Nice.
it.
What kind of name is
That's an
Nephilim
excellent
Ninja?
name.
He dumb kind.
The John can. Oh,
The dumb
that might
kind.
be. Is that
The dumb
Nephilim?
kind.
I don't know. Says a guy
Uh,
named John McAfee's Pooh Hammock.
I don't know, man. It's it's weird to me that the kind of crazy bullshit that's going to be happening over the next 2 weeks. I mean, this is crazy bullshit to me. It's like, really, you're picking now, and please don't tap Kanye for a presidential candidate, because that's what he'll announce something, right? He's got
Well,
that's
yeah, but Kanye's already a pro-Trumper, so
well, yeah, but you
there's
know
no way
what?
he's gonna. There's no
It, it
way.
it all depends on where loyalties lie, right? It all depends on where
Well,
loyalties lie. Are you more loyal to Trump, or are you more loyal to your race?
see, Kanye is not like that at all. He's actually one of the few people I would say who are very individualistic. Like he does not, he doesn't really talk about like black issues or black communities and black problems or anything like that. He's mostly just kind of like me. It's just me,
But he is
and
also
I'm the best, and
regularly
I'm awesome.
medicated too.
Well, yeah.
I mean, there's that to balance in. Um,
I'm just talking about like his like philosophy is more individualistic than it
right,
is
right.
about any sort of community,
No, I get you. I understand that.
regardless of anything. Yeah.
I see what brings him and Trump together. I mean, it's like that narcissistic magnet that just draws people together. I wonder how they carry on conversations about themselves. You know, do they just
Yeah.
talk over each other? Nephilim says it's a bunch of dumb N words put together. A bunch of
Some of his name, yeah. And then he says just messing around with him. Yeah, I figured that was his other
Con-
name.
Seawall says Kanye is playing both sides. He sends money to the Dems and their allies. Ooh,
I don't know anything about
there's
that.
there's ooh.
Some
Seawall throwing out.
dish.
We got to fact check that one of these days,
Yeah.
Mister Blanket Statement, Mister.
Right. Oh, Mr.
Uh,
I own a home. Oh.
but now Diddy doing this though. I mean, he's like this. I don't know, John. Do you think there's still a lot of black disparity in the country? I mean, is it still or is it just self-created? I mean,
It's certainly
am I miss?
self-created. Yeah, because I mean, there's nothing that stops like black people from being friends with non-black people and stuff. So yeah, I mean, if there's any kind of like racial division, it's on purpose. Like it's caused by the people who are being divided.
So I can still rest comfortable in knowing that it's just a symptom of our tribalism.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you leave like the internet space and like the news, whatever that you see that kind of crap on the news all the time, and you just go out and like hang out with people, people don't care about race. Like they just don't. Generally speaking, of course, because of course there are still people who do. But like, yeah, generally speaking, though, like people are fine.
Well, let me ask you.
It's like you talk about all the time. You step outside your front door and you don't see all the stuff that's on the news. Like that's kind of the point, right? You don't
Right.
do that, and you do that, and you just go out to the real world, and you see that it's not actually how it is on the news. It's not actually how it is on social media. It's not actually how it is, in all these places.
See,
Like
and there
that's
you're
basically just a few things happening all around the country.
see
It's
now
not the norm for sure.
you're making my argument about we need to unplug more. We need
Yeah.
to disconnect more, right?
No, I've said that plenty of times too. Yeah.
Um, what is it too much of an idea to assert that for the betterment of the society that we may do that? Like,
I
I
mean,
mean,
you can't like
you
you
can't
can't regulate
regulate
that.
it,
You
right?
can't.
So is it?
Right.
Are we done? Is our goose cooked? I mean, because it's only going to get
Possibly,
worse.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
only going to get worse. I mean, think about if I'm constantly just slamming in your face this race issue in the news, this race issue in the news, this
Yeah.
race issue in the news. I mean, you're gonna kind of start thinking about racism and potentially quantifying or justifying racism, statistics, facts that have to do with it, and and it will be a thing in your life, right? Um, but
Yep.
it's all this media that's getting shoved down our throats, especially the ads and things like this. But what the media is doing, and the town halls that were just happened Thursday night, last night, are a good example of this. Real quick, Sewell says blacks tend to vote for who is willing to sign the bigger welfare check. Um, I, I hate to say that that's a to I can't disagree with that, but I don't want to agree with it 100%. But I'm just, it's one of those where I'm like, the statistics again, they don't lie
Yeah.
about certain
Right.
things. Midget says the only disparities between functional members of society and degenerate parasites. Yet,
That's a true statement. Yeah. I'll give
um,
that. I'll give
yet
that.
there has been a concerted effort over the years to make us that way, though. I mean,
Yeah.
would you not agree with that, John? That the government has, between the government and everything, everything that's happened over the last 100 years, we've been walked down this. Well, I can't say 100 years. I'd have to say 60 plus years. Have walked us down this path to expecting the government to do things, to expecting the government to help, and step in and throw civil rights acts around and to step in and save, create Social Security and tax shelters and bailouts and
Hmm.
and luxury taxes and windfall taxes, all this other shit, right? We've
Yeah.
asked for that, but they've prompted us to ask for that. Uh, or which way has it gone? I can't determine if they created this monster that we've become, or if we became these monsters in response to what they were becoming.
It's probably a bit of both, I would say. I
Um,
don't know. It's
yeah,
probably
it's
pretty complicated.
yeah. Seawall says no. We need to plug in more, enter the Matrix Man, and free the sheeple, or try to become the master of the sheeple, whichever is easier. Seawall says, join me, John and Rob. John, you can have the lands of the Celts. Rob, I will give you not just half, but a whole Oklahoma.
Celts.
Celts, excuse me.
Oh shit.
Every time I see that, I start to say Celtics. Boston
I
Celtics,
know.
right? Because basketball
It's
pops
the
in my head.
Celtics. Yeah.
The Celtics, yes. Because
Yeah.
it needs to be a K. I'm sorry, it just needs to be a K, and I'm assuming that it might have been at one point in the past.
No, because there is no K in the Celtic languages.
Oh, let me guess. The Celtic languages were so poor they couldn't afford a K.
Yeah,
We
that's
can't
true.
afford two letters that have the same sound. Come
Right.
on.
Well, no, it's just about simplicity. You know why you need that kind of Gaelic.
Kind of Gaelic. But so there is a lot of disparity in the media, as I was saying, and what it's doing to people. Um, and I thought this little video, as I think it's Ann Coulter. Is that her name? Is that her name? Blonde chick. Laura Ingram. Excuse me. Sorry, Ann Coulter. Not Ann Coulter. Laura Ingram. I get them. I get the Fox girls all confused. I can't keep them straight.
Yeah.
But
You just
anyway,
call them Fox Anchor number one, Fox Anchor number two. That's all you gotta
is that the way we got it too?
do.
Um, but anyway, so this is the first thing is this little blip she talks about here. I'll play it real quick about the debates last night. The excuse me, town halls.
But also in how they were moderated. Case in point, these were the types of questions Biden was compelled to answer.
My wife and I are in disbelief at the lack of coordinated federal action on COVID-19. We know that your administration would follow the science.
What do you say to LGBTQ Americans and others who are very worried right now about erosions of their rights and our democracy as a whole?
Mr. Vice President, my father, Drew Lewis, served as Secretary of Transportation under President Ronald Reagan in his first term.
Oh, yeah, I'll be darned.
Robert Mueller laid out a lot of evidence of possible obstruction of justice by President Trump. What would a Biden Justice Department do with that evidence?
And forgetting that this was actually a voter town hall, this is how NBC's Savannah Guthrie treated the president.
In point of fact, your administration is about to go to the Supreme Court to argue to throw out the rest of Obamacare, which includes the protections for pre-existing conditions. Will you accept a peaceful transfer of power? There is no law or rule that prohibits you from releasing your tax returns. That is completely not true.
So,
and that disavow QAnon. You don't know that? Okay.
No, I don't know that.
You just this week.
Joining me now are two Trump 2020 campaign.
So,
Yeah, are we surprised?
so now I watched the entire Trump town hall and a couple, 2 or 3 questions from the Biden. I didn't watch the whole thing. I couldn't stomach watching the whole thing. But yeah, she really came after him. Now, one of the things that she came after him about was, of course, everything that was said about him, not denouncing white supremacy.
Oh my God, I know.
So she asked him about that, and his response is finally, he's like, "Look, I denounce white supremacy. Okay, there. That's, I'm telling you, I denounce white supremacy, but I also denounce Antifa. I denounce all these other groups too." And then she, he's talking about Biden doesn't, why isn't Biden denouncing Antifa and some of these other groups? But she then moves the goalpost and she asks him about QAnon,
Right.
and why he won't disavow QAnon. Apparently, he retweeted something, basically, retweeting some conspiracy type information, and so she's trying to call him on that. But of course, and this is where I think he fails is, in talking about the white supremacy now after the fact, he can go, "Look, I denounce white supremacy. Look, there it is. Okay, you want to hear it? You didn't hear it then. I'm going to give it to you now." But he didn't denounce QAnon. First, he's basically, "I don't know anything about QAnon."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, I know that they, that they're against pedophilia and they do great work in trying to fight pedophilia." And she's like, "But it's, it's a conspiracy saying that, there's a secret cabal in Washington, and that, part of that theory is that he's secretly fighting this war against the cabal in Washington." But he doesn't come right out and say, "No, I denounce that." So of course gives her fire to run on and keep attacking him with it, because he won't come out against QAnon. But one of the things that happened with this, with more, and I think we can kind of call it media bias, if we want to, is that
Most certainly was.
well, yeah, is, the way that they were,
It's pretty fucking clear.
Is it possible? Did any of the first debate have an impact on this? The way he was versus the way Biden was, did it have an impact on? Now, remember, these were on 2 different networks. Now, it wasn't like one network was treating both of them different ways. It was, one was on,
but
one was on
also, do you know who owns ABC?
Disney.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're not going to be big fans of Trump.
But they also own Fox, don't they?
I believe Viacom owns Fox.
Isn't Fox part of like Fox Studios and all of the Fox network?
Might be
Because
Fox. Yeah, it might just
Disney
be
bought
Fox. I don't
yeah,
know.
Disney bought the Fox network.
I don't think they bought Fox News.
You should
I
pull
don't
that
know.
up and check. Well,
I
because I think that I think
find
they
out.
fall under the umbrella with Fox Network, but I might be wrong. Unless somebody in the chat knows. Um, Steve also says she just looks unhinged.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh,
Disney owns Fox, the TX shows, not the news side. Okay.
right.
Fox News is different from Fox. Okay, so it's not part of the Fox network. Gotcha. Or like
Owned by the
the
Fox Corporation is all it says.
okay, gotcha. All right. See that need that
Yeah.
makes things a little clearer. Yeah. But ABC, that's Disney. But who was the other one that Biden was on? Was he NBC? I think he was on NBC. Um, but the way that they were, things fell out from the first one, because she I have to say, when she opened with Trump, she opened with a recounting of exactly what led to them having that town hall debate, and basically kind of put him on the defensive
Right.
immediately by going, well, the reason we're having to have this like this is blah blah blah, this that, and the other. He did it down in Miami, right? That was here in Florida that he was
Yeah.
doing that speaking, or down near Miami. But I don't know. It's is he not? I don't know. Is he not asking for it? Like, does he not put himself at a point of contention to demand that kind of questioning?
I mean, yeah, with his, brashness or whatever, sure. I mean, I think they should give him a chance to say something ridiculous first. But like, because they're going, I'm saying, like, as soon as they start, don't just come right out of the gate and be like, so for my first question, Mr. President, were you always a piece of shit, or did you have to work on it? Like, that's what, that's kind of what they do. Um, I don't know. I think they should have given him a chance to actually, say things first before start going after him.
Um, so now with QAnon, I mean, so first, I don't know that I've ever asked you how much credence you give to the the whole QAnon thing or not.
I don't know much about it. I haven't really followed it, but I just kind of the most I've heard about them is actually from the news, from saying how terrible they are. So they can't be that bad. If the news
I
doesn't like them, they can't be that bad.
I mean, they, like followers of QAnon, you know, have theorized that it's somebody within Washington, a Washington
Right.
insider that is talking about all of this. Um,
I mean, I think that they're definitely onto something. If they're talking about like an elite pedophile ring, there's a mountain of evidence for that. So, I mean, I don't think they're completely off the mark on that one, at least. I don't know what else they're pushing, what other conspiracy theories they're pushing. I have no idea. But they're talking about that. There's mountains and mountains of evidence for that. So,
well, now, I guess because of course my mind always goes straight to, okay, to ask this question, like mounds and mounds of evidence that there is child pornography going on in the world, or that there is an elite, some sort of elite cabal trafficking, global trafficking ring. Is that, there's a difference between those two evidence, right? I mean,
right, of course, yeah,
so that's the question, that evidence, because if there is specific evidence that can prove this, you know, it's one thing to theorize that the evidence is there. Why, put it forward, like, where's the concrete evidence? Because that's the kind of thing that opens these cases up, and right? Am I wrong there? I mean, or is it just getting shut down so well that people know the evidence
Yeah, I'm
exists,
not.
but the evidence isn't available?
I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I mean, like I said, I haven't really followed QAnon, so I don't know too
Um,
much about it.
but I mean, ultimately, it's again, like I said, the assertions that are made from the QAnon camp are that Trump actively knows this is going on and is fighting
Right.
against this from the inside.
Yeah, that I would doubt.
And that's basically what she was trying to get him to say. Do you support them or not? Blah blah blah. And he was like, I don't know anything about them.
Right.
But now, of course, that does prompt an article that he received a $1 million donation from QAnon supporting couple that
Okay.
they donated $1 million, but apparently the RNC, or the campaign, didn't disqualify the donation and send it back. Usually they do if it's something that can cause harm to the campaign,
Yeah.
right? But it wasn't sent back. But these are people that they were gonna hold a Pence fundraiser, and they canceled it when people found out that they were QAnon supporters. They pulled back and didn't have the fundraiser for Pence, but still they donated to Trump's campaign. So it's like, you know,
Yeah.
do you distance yourself from this by doing the same thing you did with the white supremacy thing? Okay, so in a couple of days, does he come out and go, "I disavow QAnon"? To
I don't know. I don't know that he needs to. I think doing what he's doing is the best way he can do it by saying I don't know anything about it. So
so
I can't like condemn them if I don't know anything about them.
well, was it a bad move for him to now say disavow white supremacy like he did this time around?
Well,
Is that not like the
yeah,
apology theory?
right. I think that's a lot like the apology theory. There, he's doing the thing that they want him to do, and he's usually really good at not doing that. He's usually really good at resisting, but I don't know, man. Maybe he's cracking under pressure or something, and
Now,
is
now,
just starting to But I mean, he like I said, obviously he has condemned white supremacy in the past, plenty of times, like at least 20 times. But of
so,
course, they'll keep saying that they'll probably still say that he hasn't done it
right,
ever.
because instead of
So,
because he'll politic,
right.
because he
So,
shouldn't he shouldn't politic the answers, is sometimes I
well,
think.
no, he needs to though. He needs to because like people actually think that white supremacy is a problem. Like it's not popular enough to be a problem, and they do the thing that they always do with words. They just kind of throw them out there. So everything and everyone is white supremacist. So it's like instead of doing that, he really should just kind of, you know, I don't know. You should just stick to the normal. I'm not going to say the thing that you want me to say
But see,
because
that's
they don't even know what they mean by white supremacy. They have no idea what it is. They have no idea what white supremacists believe. They have no clue. They just everything that's like to the right of them is white supremacist.
well, see, and I could agree with you that you know it's not as big a problem as people might
It's
think, but
definitely
in
not as big a problem as Antifa, which is a an actual tangible problem.
the day and age of viral media, even white supremacy becomes a much larger issue, because you only have to document two or three, one or two, three instances of it, and that goes
Hmm.
viral across the country, and it's a widespread problem. Because if I can see it in my face, right, it must be in my backyard. It must be right here in my community,
Right.
and that I think is becoming the bigger problem, is that all of this is now being brought right into your home, right into your neighborhood, by the simple fact that it exists somewhere else 1,000 miles away.
Right.
And you know, and it's causing bad reactions. Ed says QAnon is absolutely gospel, and anyone who doesn't buy into it 100% is a globalist pedophile. I disagree with that. Um, because I'm not buying into anything anymore. I'm done. I'm not buying into anything unless it's a large tract of cheap, unsettled land. He
Sounds pretty awesome. Yeah.
he disavowed at the time when he was talking about
Yep.
Charlottesville.
He sure did.
He says
Actually, he disavowed it right before that famous quote that everyone likes to say, where, oh, these are the very fine people. You know, the very fine people quote. He actually says it the sentence before that quote. He disavows them. But of course, he's never disavowed. You know, Oceania has always been at war with Eurasia. You know, it's how it goes,
yeah,
man.
yeah, but see, then they throw up, but they've got to throw up the comment he made about the Proud Boys. And what does he say?
Oh yeah,
You
that
know,
was terrible for him. He
stand
should not
stand
have
down and stand by.
stand.
You
Oh
know,
yeah,
and it's
stand
like
by him.
it's the way he said it, right? It
Yeah, they grabbed onto that and they
right.
run with it. Yeah.
And of course, I mean, if you're literally, living in a decontextualized world, which is what we do with we get from the media now,
Yeah.
oftentimes,
No context
that's a
whatsoever.
pretty damning thing to hear him say. Now, I think I can understand what the implications of what he was saying was, and I know why he
Hmm.
said it, and I get it. But you got to get the twist, man. The twist. Everything is going to have the twist now. You got to twist it
Hmm.
for the narrative, or you've got to twist it just perfectly against the narrative and make it something
Oh,
serious.
quick, just as a quick assignment to ask you, obviously, in the chat, are there riots still going on? Because I haven't really heard much about it. I haven't heard anything about them at all. Like, are they still a thing, or we just like are they going and we're just not talking about it, or have they actually just kind of got bored of destroying their own cities?
Well, it's only happening in democratic cities, according to Donald Trump in his rally
Well, I
today. He was
mean,
saying
that's pretty damn true.
it's only democratic cities. He said that in the town hall too. Only democratic cities
Yeah,
are dealing with any of that. Um,
I mean that's fair.
yeah, is it? Yeah, probably,
Yeah.
maybe. Um, but I mean, I haven't seen anything here. Like Ed says, there were never riots. Don't be racist. Um,
You're right. I apologize. How many peaceful protests are they still going on? Are they still peacefully burning down buildings and such? Are
are
they,
they peacefully burning?
peacefully attacking police? That's peacefully killing police officers and
Right? Are they furthering peace like they
yeah,
have been so
throwing
successfully?
Molotov cocktails of peace, throwing bricks of peace.
It was funny. I had to empty some old gas out of a gas can and go get some new gas. So I put the old gas into a milk jug, and I'm like, okay, now I need to figure out how to get rid of it. And I'm like, do you think if I took it up to the convenience store, they have a place to get rid of, like a flammable liquid like gasoline? She's like, maybe. She says, you could always just leave it on the sidewalk by the building, near their, if you wanted to be a real asshole. And I said, at this point in time, in our current situation,
Right.
setting a jug of gasoline down somewhere is not a good idea. This is just
It's
not
a
a
it's
good
a jug
idea.
of peace, Robert. It's a jug of peace.
I'm like, no, no, it's going to sit in my garage till I figure out exactly the best way to dispose of it. Uh, I'm not setting that down anywhere outside my property. Just
Yeah,
just
Nephilim's got a
burn it.
good point. Just
Yeah,
burn it.
I'm in the city limits, incorporated city limits. I can't just burn off a half a gallon of gasoline, and you know, I don't think.
Just put it in a nice line down your driveway, and then just like when you're done, you smoke a cigarette. When you're done with it, just toss
John,
it to
that
the
goes
first
to the
guy.
lakes. That goes to the
What?
lakes.
That's down your driveway. Something to do with that.
We have storm drains, John. it all runs to storm drains.
Oh, it's not gonna be enough.
I could
I don't know,
set
maybe.
all the fish on fire. You don't know what's in that fucking sewer.
Sure, the sewer might explode.
Right? You don't know what's down there, but just saying.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the waterways around this area where they're draining water off the little canals and stuff.
Water your plants, they love it. Plenty of CO2 in
Yeah,
it.
yeah. If that were a thing,
Got electrolytes.
my wife would have told me to do that, and she did not. So I don't believe it. But
I wanted to find out.
here's something interesting I found out, and just as a suggestion, um, just a little tip before we move on to our next topic. But if you're doing stuff like your lawnmower and your weed eater and stuff, you should be using marine fuel for that, ethanol free. Um, got it from an aviation guy. He said that it's a better fuel to run in your small engines like that. Recommend it. Just public service announcement. Ed says just use it to start your fire pit. Um,
He's got to get a fire pit. Oh no, you do have a fire pit. Yeah.
I do have a fire pit. Yeah.
There you go.
I guess I could use it and save it and start the fire pit with it a few times. Of course, the fire pit has holes in the bottom, so I have to be a little bit careful with it. We don't get any red ants here. That was always the fun thing to do with gasoline, is pour it down a red ant hill and then set that on fire and just listen.
Yeah.
It sounds like popcorn.
Oh, poor ants.
Have you ever seen what you can do with aluminum though?
No.
If you take a pot, you got to get a big old cast iron pot, and you melt down aluminum, like aluminum cans and stuff, and melt it down, and then you take that hot aluminum over to a red anthill, and you pour it all over the anthill. And what it'll do is it'll run down into the anthill and fill all those little tunnels and everything and harden, and you'll actually have yourself a sculpture of the anthill. You dig it out of the ground in a solid aluminum, and you pull it out, and you'll have a recreation of the anthill in aluminum.
You're a fucking monster, Robert.
How am I a monster? Have you ever stepped in a red anthill?
Do you know how hard those red ants worked on that anthill?
I could go back to previous show where I explained to you what you can do with a red ant hill, burying someone right beside it and pouring honey over their head, right? They don't care about you. Do what?
I don't remember that conversation.
Oh, yeah, Indian torture. Native American torture? That was the thing they do. Shave your head and bury you beside an anthill, a red anthill, and pour honey over your head. Ants like honey.
That's fucked up, man.
Yeah, it's pretty hard.
Well, everyone likes honey. I mean,
Nephilim says ethanol gets gummy when it sits and ruins engines. Agreed. Eat corn. Don't put it in my fuel. Cali has 10% mandated. Yeah, you also got to get rid of anything burning gas soon. So
the only thing that corn should be used for is popcorn.
Corn on the don't you dare not corn on the cob.
Corn on the cob is good too. Yeah, I like corn on the cob.
It is the bomb diggity poop shit.
It is really good. So 3 things that you can do with corn, and that's it.
Well, if it's done right, cream corn is good. If it's done right, cream corn is good. You probably wouldn't agree, but it's because
cream corn's good.
Oh, now we've got 4.
Nah, because I think you just put it under eat it.
Indian
put all that stuff under eat corn.
Indian corn popcorn is good stuff. I recommend it.
I don't think I've had it.
Ed says you don't need to use marine fuel, by the way. I don't know.
Well,
is there another ethanol-free fuel? He just said it's better. So, like Nephilim was saying, that premium is ethanol free.
Premium is ethanol free.
Yeah. Well, it depends on. Is it? No, cause I thought it was there was still a small percentage of ethanol in there.
Oh.
Did I just say corn is some poop shit? Yeah. Technically, it is. I mean,
I mean,
corn.
It certainly shows up in your shit.
People will constantly say corn has no nutritional value, but honestly, it has an enzyme in it that helps you with digestion and shitting your stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
So it aids in digestion and processing of the food. So don't ever knock corn. It is good for you. It is beneficial. Corn on the
Yeah,
cob.
corn's good.
On the on the
Corn
cob.
on the cob.
What's a cob? Do I know what a cob is? I don't think I've
I
heard
don't
the word.
know.
Unless he's
I
speaking
think it
about
was a
Bryant.
typo.
Oh no, that's Kobe. That's the steak. But anyway, so
Also a rip Kobe.
so one other thing that happened on Wednesday. This is going to start running amok. Um, it appears that Rudy Giuliani, the myth, the legend, is out there doing good for Donald Trump. Apparently, there has been a laptop that's been obtained. Now, um, I'll share. It's kind of interesting, but apparently it was dropped off for service, and I haven't got concrete date of when it was dropped in. In April 2019, it was left. In this repair shop, and it was never picked up, and of course unknown person dropped it off. Apparently the shop owner was disturbed by the content, and fearing for his safety, he released the hard drive to the FBI in December of 2019. Now, when they failed to follow up on the disturbing contents, like, guess what, dude? They don't just call back and tell you what what they're doing, right? That's not the FBI's thing, right? They're not going to, oh, by the way, just to update you on that laptop you turned over to us. No, they're not usually doing that. You're not you're not in the loop, I think, to a certain extent, or not getting, I guess, not getting the laptop back. Maybe he was expecting that, but anyway.
Oh yeah, certainly not.
Or he let them know they didn't have the computer, I guess, because they didn't follow up on the disturbing contents. When they didn't follow up with him after turning it over, he had obviously copied the hard drive.
Yeah.
Right. So he turned that over to Rudy Giuliani's attorney, or vis-a-vis to Rudy Giuliani.
Right.
Now, right there, I'm like, okay, now you've just created a questionable situation, right? Because you backed up that hard drive and then you handed it off to somebody outside of the authorities after the fact, after you already turned it over to them. That's going to, whatever comes of this, right there, we have potential obstruction of justice, right?
Yeah, I can see that. But I mean, at the same time, they give it to attorneys, so I don't know what the legality of that is, because that is different than just giving it to your buddy.
All Rudy Giuliani is President Trump's personal attorney. He was a former federal prosecutor, but he is only Trump's personal attorney now.
Right.
So that's the main thing there. That he's not in an authoritative capacity from that aspect, I don't think. Right. But anyway, so apparently the assertion is that this is Hunter Biden's laptop, and there's a picture found on the laptop. I'll show you this and see what you think. There's, because of course, we've got facial recognition. CSI is real when it counts, baby. But apparently this is Hunter Biden. Hi, Hunter.
Hell yeah,
on the laptop. And apparently there's like emails on this and text conversations that were going on, and indicating that he was in some very bad financial situation, even with all the money he had been making. There's assertions that his father is taking half of the money that he makes. There's a conversation here with his daughter where she's like, can you put 150 in my account? It was just declined for Lyft to airport. Sorry. Blah, blah, blah. He says, yes, I can, but you really have to start to realize that once you are out of school, the chances of you living like your father is a billionaire when really he's given all his money away is going to be a bit of a shock. And in another, he promises never to demand half her salary the way her grandfather does. Basically, what Joe
Ooh.
does to him. He's got and Giuliani is making these assertions that this is what these messages are contained in the laptop. Excuse me. And so, but the you know there the question is the source where he got it from, the source where he got it from, but also who he's been dealing with in the Ukraine, because he's been investigating that whole angle, trying to get dirt on Biden and Hunter through the Ukraine. And in that, there also one of the things that turned up in this FBI investigation, the subpoena that was filed to search this laptop, etc., was signed off on. One of was FBI Special Agent signature from Joshua Wilson, who apparently has been involved in child pornography investigations.
Naturally.
So, and then of course, coinciding with the repair shop saying there was disturbing material on there, so it's like, okay, now what? Because now I'm like, okay, what is this going to lead to? A, is it real? Because one of the things that is the feds are doing is trying to determine if the emails are valid, or if they're some part of an intelligence operation.
Well, if you go back to that conversation he was having with his daughter
Uh-huh.
about like you can't keep, living like a billionaire's daughter or whatever.
Right.
The way that he words this, uh, that kind of sounds like what a father would say to his daughter who keeps asking him for money over and over again. And her responses are very similar to the ones that you would hear from a daughter who's heard that speech plenty of times.
Sure, or a kid, right? But I mean,
Well, so I don't think she's a. I don't know how old she is, but yeah, I don't know. That seems real, at least. That conversation there seems real.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. It's not to say that it's not real, but it's also not to say that it couldn't be faked either.
Sure. Yeah, I could. No, absolutely
Anybody
agree.
with kids could fake that conversation or tune
Yeah.
into it, right? Um, but the feds are looking into it because ultimately, the one of the sources that Giuliani is using over there uh, is the administration has been warned that this guy is basically, in the pocket of the Russians, and
No, it's only Trump who's in the pocket of the Russians.
well, no. This is people within the Trump administration.
Yeah.
Telling him, you need to be careful with what Giuliani's doing, because this guy, his source, his go-to guy in the Ukraine is potentially deep in the Russian pocket.
Right.
So now I'm like, okay, so we've got to figure out if they're real or not. But then you've also got to ask,
Hey, Ron Helton, what's up, man? It's been a
Ron
while.
Helton in the house.
What's up?
Is Giuliani going to hurt things with this, the way he's going about this? I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, I think that's what they're gonna what they're gonna use to try and like downplay it. It's just you can't trust those dirty cocksucking Russians, So they're just gonna say, oh well, it's not real, and because obviously they can't have Biden not be the golden child right now. He has to be. He's perfect.
Because
and anything that messes with that narrative needs to go.
Well, one of the things that is being said from officials in the White House is that ultimately that the Russian campaign against American elections is still, there's still influence happening, but one of the things is an information campaign against Joe Biden, ultimately in an effort to make sure that Trump stays in office. Now, how much of that's true, I don't know. But because of the nature of this, we had the Hillary Clinton emails, and that was a WikiLeaks drop, right? All of that, and it's like, oh, these were gained through hacking, et cetera, et cetera. And now this is a laptop that was turned over to Rudy Giuliani, questionably. I have to say questionably on that because I don't know where the legalities of that fall in. The guy making a backup copy and giving a second one out outside the authorities, but. Twitter and Facebook, one of the things that happened with this, why it didn't get as much traction, they're saying, is because Twitter and Facebook, because of their trying to limit information from hacked sources, basically shut down almost any and all conversation in regard to this from being posted on their sites. Now, they said these circumstances, of course, they prevented the post investigation from being widely shared, blocked users from sharing the URL to the post story, and locked some users out of accounts for doing it, including high-profile ones belonging to the post itself and White House spokeswoman Kayleigh McEnany. On Facebook's end, company spokesman McEnany, sorry. Company spokesman Andy Stone said the social network was reducing its distribution on our platform without further clarifying precisely what Facebook did. So, in other words, they, much like we ran into when we talked about that furniture company that one time. So they're jumping on board the train to stifle information to prevent I don't know. Is it to save their ass? Is that what it is? Is it more about saving their own ass? CYA? I don't know.
It would seem so, yeah.
Let's see. Netflix says type of thing. Thanks for thinking I did that on purpose. Corn on the go. I'll obstruct your justice. Hunter is innocent. This is a right-wing conspiracy. Thank you, Ed.
Yeah.
We shouldn't entertain those right-wing conspiracies. Hunter didn't do nothing, Helton says. It's as bad as those QAnon people, Ed says. Ron did not get Ruby Ridged. Ed says, I had my cock sucked by a Russian once.
Okay. So I told you, dirty cocksucking Russians.
Ron says, I cannot fathom how anybody could vote for Biden. Both Trump and Biden are big government. Damn it, Biden should not be further rewarded for being a lifetime government tit sucker. And the Democrats want to push the Green New Deal, which would destroy this country and make all of us 100% subservient to the government. Although
100% correct.
I'm still going to put it out there that, I don't disagree that is quite potentially going to happen from either side. Long-term goals seem to indicate that both would be going that direction. I think it'd be faster on the Democratic side.
Right. Yeah. Republicans are just progressives going the speed limit, is the old adage.
It was interesting today now. To hear Donald Trump while he was at the rally today, and right before I had to shut it down to come do the show, but he was saying, he's like, of course he's running Joe into the ground, which not surprising, but he's like, I don't know why they put him up. He said, they should have put Bernie up. He said they got a campaign now but no energy. Said, Bernie may not have had the supporters, but at least he had the energy. He could have gotten supporters.
I don't know, man. He definitely had the supporters.
Well, not like Biden had a bigger base, is what he was saying. He's like, Biden had the base. Bernie may not have had the base, but, he had the energy and he could have built the base.
Right. I mean, yeah, to be fair to Bernie, people turned out to Bernie rallies. People loved going there. It was high energy. It was comparable to a Trump rally. I mean, there was a lot of excitement for Bernie. There's no excitement for Biden. Nobody cares about Biden. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's mind-boggling, like why they would choose Biden over Bernie, but whatever.
um, it's because I honestly believe it's because Bernie was too openly socialist, and
Yeah,
that wouldn't have been good for their agenda. I mean,
right.
if you want to push a socialist agenda, it needs to be done coercively. I mean, covertly.
Or covertly, yeah.
You got to keep it under wraps. You got to slip it in through things like stimulus packages and things like that.
Right.
Um, uh, but it's these emails. These are going to be. This is going to be damning, and you know, the validity of them. Is it above Rudy Giuliani to to make this happen?
Make what
Is
happen to like
it
fabricate
to
this?
fabricate this, or
I would
to
say that he probably wouldn't do it because he understands the legal ramifications of doing that. I I mean, I don't know. I don't know the guy personally, obviously, so I can't really say what's in his mind, but
I
I don't know why he would need to when I mean the Bidens are very corrupt. I mean they've been around for a long time, in government especially, and I mean he's just like I'm not. He's no more corrupt than like any of the other ones. Anyone who's been in the Senate for a while, you know.
it's certainly timely though, isn't it? It's it's it's
What's the
just
October surprise, man?
it's the right time to bring it out. Um, yeah, it. I mean, this is the kind of thing. If any of this is, this could get enough steam up to where I don't know. Does it just give Trump the election? Is it coming out late enough that we couldn't get ourselves a new candidate if we tried on the Democratic side? If like
Um,
real shit fell out from this very quickly?
I don't. I mean, he's certainly not going to jail or anything before the election. Like, assuming that anything, everything proves right and justice system actually works. Assuming that those miracles happen, uh, there's certainly not going to be, have a trial before the election. It's just not going to happen.
Well, here's the thing though. If if the most damning thing out of that is if Joe Biden was actually taking half of his son's money, then they'll try and equate that to blackmail. Especially if, for whatever reason, this information about Joshua Wilson, um, who investigates child pornography, is involved in this. Looking at this laptop, easily qualifies as blackmail money. Easily explains the whole Burisma tie and that money from that was coming to Joe Biden. There, it will obviously expose corruption, which would immediately,
Yeah,
I would think, demand that he have to recuse himself from the race.
yeah. I don't see that happening. I don't. I mean, I agree with you. I'm just saying I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, we don't arrest politicians for corruption in this country. We
But
just
see
don't do
that
it.
it doesn't matter. The rest, we don't have to arrest him. The allegations are enough. I mean, look at
Oh
Richard
no, they're
Nixon.
not.
Look at what Richard Nixon did.
Yeah, that was
That's what a
back in the day
politician
when we actually cared about that sort of thing.
politician will cut
Now
and run.
it's like, oh, I mean, yeah, he's corrupt, but did you see what Trump did yesterday? You know what I mean? Like that's what matters now.
Well,
It's
if
Orange
the
Man must be bad.
if
Anyone
he
who opposes Orange Man must be good.
he'll pull out of the race if the allegations really come out, he'll pull out of the race if he knows they're true. I'm willing to bet that.
Oh, look at this. What Ron Helton saying. No,
It's
Biden does not have to recuse himself from the race. Eugene Debs ran for office for president from prison. Holy
nice.
shit, I didn't know about that.
Did not know that myself. You look up
Yeah.
Eugene Debs. Let's get him on the show. Uh,
That would be awesome.
Ed says, vote for Biden. He's not orange. Orange man bad. Helton says, Dominion
Right.
man good. Say this 5 times fast. Pizza Kate. Pizza Kate. Pizza Kate. Pizza Kate. Pizza Kate. Pizza Kate. What does that do? Oh, I get it.
Wow. That
I
took you a while, didn't it?
well,
It's a good thing you didn't screw it
I
up.
was still listening to my
Damn it.
enunciation of
This
it
fucking
and knowing
laptop.
I was hitting things properly. But
Right.
Nephilim says, I think that's why he tweeted the Babylon Bee fake news, so they call him a liar, drawing attention to the truth about Hunter. Enthusiasm, yeah.
Right.
Helen says socialism incrementally, exactly
Yeah.
like stimulus packages that were used mainly to bail out the big institutions. Again, scratching my damn head. Ed says, give you a few pennies to spend on Amazon while Whitmer gets their small business competition out of the way. Yeah. It says, I'll mail your black. Wow, don't say that. We like Gretchen Whitmer on my show. Oh, do you? That's okay. It says, no, Biden does not.
Yeah,
Like
he's a
you
big
said,
fan.
that
I
would
don't
be
know if you
hard.
know.
Debs has been dead for about 100 years. Has he? We can't get him on the show
Oh, well.
posthumously.
Yeah.
It says Biden should have pulled out in 1970. Oh, sorry, 69. I know what that reference means. I get it. So anyway, I don't know, man. These emails. So there's the validity of the emails and the way in which they were obtained. All of that's going to come into question in this. All of that's going to either muddy the fucking waters or give someone enough rope to hang themselves. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I still question the legitimacy of the investigation into it. You have the full breadth of the American government under you. You can launch an administrative investigation. You could do this. And it hasn't been done up to this point. It's been Giuliani working in the background, and that becomes questionable because I've said it many times. The man seems a little unhinged at points, like he's working for Jim Jones sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's ready to drink the Kool-Aid if he needs to. He'll do whatever it takes to make sure he protects his client. So, I don't know. I would love to hear Midget's take. I don't know if he's even still in here, if he's been
I don't think so.
left out.
I haven't seen him in a while.
I'd love to hear what Midget has to actually say about this. So maybe I realize, today and in the last couple of days that I haven't been active on Discord like I should be. So especially coming into this ramp up, I need to go ahead and start.
Yeah,
jumping
everyone
in.
shame Robert for not being in the Discord enough. Shame.
Say shameful things
Shame.
about me in Discord,
Shame.
and I will pretend
Shame.
to respond to. Look, in my defense,
at Robert with all kinds of insults to him for not being in the Discord.
In my defense, I'm 52 years old, and I forget to turn my notifications on because people don't want to hear them while the show's on. So I'm like,
right.
And then I forget to turn them back on, and it's like, and then I miss stuff. I if I don't have it actively open, throwing shit up in my face, I'll miss it because I get distracted by the perpetual black hole that my mind goes into.
Ed says Mitch is plowing his black Jewish wife. Yeah, that's probably true.
Wow, did he marry Sammy Davis Jr.?
I guess so.
Or did he marry Sammy Davis Jr.? 52, pup. Yeah, I know, old man.
Pup.
Yes.
He's gonna call you son too. He's gonna call you son. And
I don't think he's that. I don't think
yeah.
he's that much older than me. I don't
He's
think
not.
he's
not much older.
He's not old enough to get away with
that. Calling you son.
But John, if the Libertarian Party is not suiting your needs, our black people, our black party is is going to be looking for people. I think you could probably fit in. You are very pro.
I am black enough. That's true.
You're pro things, right? You're very pro
I'm
things.
pro good things and I'm anti bad things. So yeah, I think I'll fit in there
I
just
think
fine.
I believe that is false, sir. That's a false statement. You are not anti bad things.
I am anti bad
You
things.
are not because you have yet to shave that goddamn beard off.
The beard is the best part. What are you talking
No,
about?
no. I mean, it's
The
you know,
beard
you can
is a
kid
very good
yourself.
thing.
You can kid yourself all you want,
You
but the
didn't know?
truth of
On
the
the eighth
matter is,
day, God created my beard, and He said it was good.
yeah, it gets the dogs riled up. I'll tell you that.
They're pissed off at you
They're
because
not
you
pissed off
insulted
at
my
me.
beard. Yeah,
Yeah,
you insulted my beard, and they're like,
whatever.
"Hey."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
If I ever see a dog defending your beard, that'll be the day. All right. So you know what? I'm not. I'm pretty well talked out. So unless you got something that you want to say, John, I think I'm gonna suggest we fuck off. Um,
Yeah, I'm
you
down for
know,
fucking off.
I'd be willing to. I might get into the Discord chat if anybody's in there lurking around, or in the voice
And I've
chat
been
or
thinking
whatever.
too.
Oh
I've
no.
been thinking. I know it's. I can smell it burning already. Um, I'm not doing much these days, right? So I think I might start doing an afternoon stream during the week. Not probably not every day, but I think I might do a solo stream in the afternoons. I think that could be fun. Just got to figure some stuff out with it. But yeah, if that's something you guys be interested in, let me know, and I'll be more likely to do it.
Um, Ed,
Because
I
I
did.
know Steven and Ed do morning shows, so I don't want to step on them or anything. So I mean, I think a cool little afternoon show would be fun.
Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. Ed wants me. I read your Biden comment, and I did know what you meant by pulled out in 1969. I got it.
Yeah,
I
you got it.
understood what pulled out meant. I mean, it was. Mason Hill says Biden has pulled out twice in the past during the primaries for being caught lying when he ran for president, but now he is the actual Democratic candidate. Same exact
Yeah,
scenario we had with Hillary's emails, questioning the legitimacy and method of obtaining the information. The media will circle the wagons and protect Biden just as they did with Hillary.
right.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. See,
Yep.
but uh, I was assuming he was calling me a fig because
I assume so.
my I figured it was a Newton reference. I don't know. But anyway, all right. So John, before we get out of here, there's
Uh-huh.
things. If I point,
There are
you'll
things
know
down
where they're
here,
at. Right over there, right
right,
there,
right
in
in the
those things.
description, right there.
No, now see
On your
when.
way,
Hold on, just FYI, from that angle, it just looks like you're pointing at your crotch. There,
that better?
much better,
Okay.
much better.
Maybe I was pointing at my crotch.
Yeah,
You
but
can find
there's no,
you can find
this.
all of our links in my description. um, yeah, we got links to stuff down there. We also have a thumbs up button. We have a subscribe button, so you should hit those things as well if you haven't already. Uh, in our description, we've got the link to our Twitter at the GenGapP. We've got a link to our Discord server, which is awesome and fun. I recommend it. And apparently, Robert's going to be there more often, so make sure you go over there and shame him. And then we've got our subscribe star in there as well. So if you have a passive affection for us, maybe you can toss us a couple bucks. You get a cool perk that goes with it. So check those out. See which one you like. Blah 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 blah. And then go check us out on freedomscoop.com, where we've got all of our stuff and other less important creators like J. Edgar and Stephen Ignoramus. We've got Wyatt from The Breakdown with Birkenhoff. We've got, I said Stephen Ignoramus, right? We've got RRC over there. And
Freckles
we've
bread.
got Freckles and Brett. Freckles and Brett was the other one, yeah. It's been a while since I did a description, or a description like read, I guess. So forgot some of my stuff, but yeah, it's what's down there. So make sure you go check that stuff out. Speaking of the breakdown with Birkenhoff, we've got Wyatt in the chat right now saying yo, right
Hey,
as we're about to leave
right.
again.
5 to 1 says he's been lurking. Have you been lurking, sir? All these lurkers. They scare me. Helton says, I dozed off earlier. My hens put themselves to bed. I just had to count them and close them up for the night. Can't let that happen again. Too many cats in this neighborhood. Hey, cats need love
Yeah.
too. Our cats catch
Hey, chicken
mice
tastes
here,
good to
so
everybody.
you know.
Well, not the one. That's a whole
Except
other
that one.
thing.
Got that one though. Caught him in the trap though.
Nice.
Nailed that little bastard. But anyway,
Was it actually a rat or a mouse?
it looked to be a mouse.
There you
But
go.
you know, with this garden, you got to expect that kind of thing occasionally.
Right.
They're gonna slip in. Plus, it's Florida. Fuck Florida.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're gonna get the hell out of here. I think. Just remember, November 3rd is coming. Please make very weighted decisions, not based on all the crazy that is going to come out in the next 2 weeks. It's going to be a madhouse, John. Just FYI.
Yeah. Vote for me. Just vote me in.
Now, as far as next week, John, I may see if I can find. We have to try and find you a co-host to do the show with. Only because it's my anniversary.
Oh, okay.
So I thought
That's
I
fair
might
enough, then.
spend some time with my wife on our anniversary.
I guess if you care more about your wife than me, I guess.
Hey, you know what? I think Ron Helton would be a perfect replacement for me for. get with
I don't
Ron.
know. I don't know if he'd be down, but who knows?
It'd be just like having me here, just a little bit older.
Well, and someone that I agree with. So
Whoa,
that'd be awesome.
You don't want to be agreeing with people. But anyway, so
agreeing with people leads to dangerous things.
But it would just, we'll have to talk about that and see what's going on because I don't know. I kind of got the
we'll
hots.
work it out.
I got the hots for my wife still. So, but anyway, so we will be back again on Wednesday for our another rousing episode of Shooting the Shit, which is on Wednesday nights at 9:30, and then we'll be back again, or John probably will be back again on Friday next week at our regular time at 8:30. Both of those times are Eastern time, the only true time zone that matters. For those of you who are keeping score.
We are.
Outside of that, take care of each other and just try and keep your crazy to a low level so that it doesn't mix with other crazy and just create a black hole of crazy all over the place, because that could get messy. But we're going to get the hell out of here. John, thanks for bringing your dog along and stopping by and chatting with me about all these fun things. Until next time, folks, much love to you. Thanks for stopping by. We will see you soon.
Yep, see you guys.
The war will begin.